Ooh. All right. Hey, so as you can see, I am back in Australia. I found myself a nice bush to film this video. It feels like I'm sitting in a zoo, like you hear noises everywhere. It feels so good to be back in this beautiful country. We gotta move. Okay, I found a better spot. We're gonna evacuate. Literally diving through the bushes for this video. So, I'm currently in Australia, as you can hear, because there are so many birds squeaking and peeping. Hey! Okay, I found a new spot. This is a lot better. Let's get into it. Okay, so in today's video I'm going to share something about your camera that you might not even know about. And that is about the crop factor. So in your camera, or at least in most cameras, there is a little tool that says crop image. And essentially what it does is it crops in your photo while you're shooting. So for example, if I'm shooting with a 50mm, it turns my 50mm in an 80mm. I know it sounds all technical, but I'm gonna try and explain it very simple to use, so at the end of this video you'll understand. So essentially what your camera does is when you turn on the crop tool, it zooms in your photo and it throws away the edges of the photo it doesn't need anymore. So your wide angle isn't as wide anymore and your zoom lens is even more zoomed in as well. So for example, my camera has a crop of 1.6, which means that if I'm shooting with a 35mm, it turns my 35mm into a 56mm. But depending on the camera brand, it also affects your crop factor. And you might already know this about your camera, but I literally found this out a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's something I love about photography. I feel like you'll never be able to fully master it because there's always things to learn. So a good example for when you can use this trick is when you're at an event and the venue is packed with people and the artist is standing there in the middle, but you can't get any closer, but you really need that extra reach with your lens. Then turn on the crop tool and it allows you to go a little bit closer in, or at least it zooms in your photo, which really helps with composing your photos as well. So before you grab your camera and you're gonna try this trick, I want to tell some key points about the cropping. So number one being, the file size of these photos is smaller, which means that your SD card doesn't get full that quick. And all your settings stay the same. So when you turn on the crop factor, it doesn't change anything about your settings. So one of the first things I thought, is this not gonna ruin the quality of my photo? Well, I've done some research, and when you're shooting during daytime or good lighting, it is not gonna ruin the quality of your photo. It will only affect your photo when you're shooting during low light. So that's something to keep in mind when you want to try out this trick. But there are always ways to fix it, like the enhance tool in Lightroom that denoises your photo and enhances all the sharpness in your photo as well. So don't worry about that. For me, this little tool opens up a whole new way to use my camera. And like for example, when I'm on a shoot and a car is standing right there, I'm like, oh, I wish I had a 105mm, but I'm shooting with my 85mm. I'll turn on the crop mode and it crops it in, and it's sort of similar to a 105mm, but I really like alternating between those two. So I've linked a link to an article where you can find a little bit more about this topic as well. And besides that, I've also added a crop factor calculator, which allows you to fill in your lens and then it shows you which lens you'll get after using the crop factor. Yes, I know this sounds all technical. I've really tried to explain it in the easiest way understandable. So yeah, I hope it all makes sense. But if you have any more questions, just please leave them down below and I'll answer them for you. But yeah, that is it. Man, it feels good to have this video just shared with you now, because it took me a minute to find a spot to film, but we did it. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will also hope to see you in my next one. Okay, bye. Doei.